Hey great people, how are you doing? We're back again this week to bring you some series of ideas or maybe knowledge points around what happened in immigration Canada last week.
Today we're back just for the good things that we're always here for, and it's all about things that we got to do. Yeah, this is good. How are you all doing? Today is just it's gonna be a short video. We're gonna have a short video today, and the goal is to just bring you guys up to speed with what has been happening with immigration, right? So, like I said, we just want to always make sure that in the midst of tons of ideas, updates, and all that, you're covered. That's why we are here to make life easy for you and also keep the process, easy to navigate. Yeah. Yes. So tonight, just a bit of a disclaimer or like a warning. Please note that there are tons of firework out there, so you might be hearing some sound. Please bear with me. I have been very busy. I've been in class. I've been working on my school work, and I thought to make sure that I make today count for what happened last week. So our goal is to make you understand that things that are happening over the past 1 week, we bring it to you on a Monday that helps you to plan or, expect what could potentially happen during this week as regards to immigration updates, specifically Canada. So yeah, that's the reason we are doing all of this. Are you ready for me? Yes. Welcome to 7 Pillar of Immigration Canada Travel Channel, where we equip you with the knowledge, resources, and information that you need to make the right decision on your Canadian immigration journey. So, my dear friends, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button because it is because of this that makes us or motivates us to jump out of our busy schedule to come give you that updates, right? I promise I would always keep it clear. Very clear, quick, and worth your time, worth your data. Because I know that immigration can feel very overwhelming, but together we can make it easy. So let's dive into what happened last week in Canadian immigration. What actually happened? On 15th of October 2025, Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, held another express entry draw. And this was the draw number 373. This actually focused on healthcare occupation category. And in this round, 2,500 invitations to apply to become permanent residents were issued. And the minimum comprehensive ranking score, the cutoff was 472. For me, that is still a bit high, but again, it's still hopeful, right? That this is something that you can beat if you have your act put together. Well, this draw is a part of the category-based selection system where Canada typically targets candidates who can fill certain critical economic needs, sectors. And selection can also be based on things like your ability to speak official language or both languages, which could be English and French or French and English or both together. So that makes you bilingual. Your education also has a key role to play. For example, if you have like a PhD or you have master's program or you have some 5 years program, for example, taking a case of a Nigerian candidate, for example, that has gone to the Polytechnic and you've done 2 years in the national diploma, 1 year for internship, additional 2 years, that could potentially give you a boost than somebody that has done 3 year education. If you have a master's degree also, you're positioning yourself for an advantage compared to somebody with a BSc. Sometimes you may have a master's degree and age also may not be on your side. So it's a mix of these factors that makes a candidate stand out relative to other. That is why immigration is not a direct road for everybody. Your unique situation position and programs you for an angle of advantage relative to the other person. So what I'm trying to say here is selection for those 2,500 people that were invited to apply were based on things like the ability to speak official language, right? Which Canada's official language is English and French, and education, Canadian experience. Some may have had education in Canada. Some may have had vast experience or academic experience in other countries, and they may have, gone through the credential assessments by which we call educational credential assessments that organizations such as WES and other contemporaries do provide as a service, which is paid for. And in this field of healthcare, based on the draw that was held on the 15th of October, in order to be eligible for this round, candidates needed to have had at least 6 months of continuous work experience in healthcare within the last 3 years. Note the word continuous, like it has to be continuous. Say, for example, you were in a particular role up until Friday of last week, and you have received an offer of employment to start another gig on a Monday like this. So that means that there was no break. So that's the continuity definition that the criteria is actually looking at to determine who qualifies versus who does not qualify. And this experience could potentially be within inside of Canada or anywhere abroad. And as always, candidates had to meet the specific instructions in order for this round to favor them or to have favored them, because we're actually reporting in the past. For example, also, I'd like you to know that some people, over time, they've had that experience back home or outside of Canada. But if that experience actually had a gap in between, then such may not count. So what this category actually targeted were people with continuous work experience in healthcare within the last 3 years. And while these procedures were ongoing, I would also like to let you know that Immigration, Refugee, and Citizenship Canada also apply the typical tie-breaking rule, meaning only those who submitted their express entry profile before a certain period at a time T, this time around before May 12, 2015, at about 1:17 p.m. Universal time, the Universal Time Zone, right? The UTC. And the minimum score as were supposed to be like something over 472, right? So you needed to have 473, 472 and above. So anything below 472 will not actually be on amongst those that were invited to come apply. And well, good news for people that are just starting out in healthcare space. If you're in Canada or you're anywhere outside of the country here in outside of Canada, you have hope. So long as you continue to build your work experience in terms of the duration, making it a continuing pattern. Not that you get tired of the job and you say, you know what, I'm done. I need to go away. So make it a continuous thing. Luck may smile at you the next time. So in total, so far so good in 2025, Canada has issued a total of up to 75,597 invitations across all the express entry draws. 73,597 draws, invitation across all the express entry draws. So what is in it for me? Like I said, if you're planning to move into the healthcare space, or you're already in healthcare, or you took a break before, you're trying to come back, the time is now, because healthcare is one of the critical economic sector due to aging population in certain region in Canada. So if you're planning, for some people that used to say, I want to jackpot. If you're planning to jackpot, please make sure that you not only consider your degree or your career in healthcare, you're also considering the language ability, you're considering your education, you're considering maybe adaptation, maybe you have a family in certain region. All of those things can actually come together to put you at an advantage. So, this is a quick recap of what happened last week in Canada immigration, the major thing that everybody is always praying for, not the other news around the government and some political leaders trying to get Canada to, to cancel temporary foreign worker program. That's not the one we're talking about. We're talking about things that actually put a smile on people's face. And that's why we call it what happened last week in Canada immigration. For me, on the 15th of October, the thing was 2,500 people received that congratulatory message, and they began to celebrate, and they began to, ask themselves, somebody should pinch me, somebody should pinch me. Am I really, really coming to Canada? Am I really, really, have I been invited to come to Canada? So stay tuned for what we're bringing to you tomorrow. Tomorrow is our knowledge mining. We're going to be talking about certain terminologies that you really, really need to pay attention to help you navigate immigration, Canada, even other countries' immigration, because when you pay attention to details when it comes to Canadian immigration, which seems to be very, very strict, you'll be able to apply such knowledge in applying for other countries. So stay tuned because every week we'll keep breaking this down for you in order to know what is happening, what has happened, or what just happened right now. So the goal is to make immigration simple, clear, easy to follow, and it also helps you to arm yourself with necessary information so you're not vulnerable to fraudulent people that capitalizes on vulnerability and lack of information and ignorance of potential, prospective, and even current applicants to defraud or redirect them and their steps from that which they were already doing and they were doing it well. Because, hey, immigration is a very broad space. Even we as practitioners, the law actually requires us to improve our knowledge by taking continuing practice development, which we pay for. So the goal is for us to bring you adequate and up-to-date information. And I hope you know that also, due to various immigration reforms that has happened since late 2023 December up till date, many a times some information at this time T is valid until this time. And that's why sometimes immigration will just come and say effective immediately. And when that happens, every of the previous information could have lost relevance. Not all, many, like I said, there are some part of the law that still remain what it is, but still draws, applicability from certain reforms, operational manuals, ministerial instructions, and latest developments and changes to the immigration law. So I hope somebody picks something from here today. If you don't pick anything, I just want you to know that hope is, your own good news is coming. Stay hopeful. Put yourself at the point where you're asking the question, can I go and take French? If I cannot, can I rewrite my CELPIP, my IELTS, my TESOL, or whatever for me to be able to score more points? Like I said, I apologize for the sound you hear in the background. It is it is it is a firework happening out there, as we approach the winter season. Summer, fall is actually packing up. We're ushering in a new season. So that's why you're hearing all of those things. One of these days, we're going to take a tour around the city to see how beautiful night time could be, especially at this time of the year. Until we come back again, please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the post notification, and you'll be the first person to know when we bring to you the knowledge mining series in Pidgin, in Yoruba, in Hausa, and Igbo. So stay tuned, my friend. Thank you for continuing to support us at Immigrate Easy 10 Cafe. We will continue to make the best use of your time and make the efforts that you put in from your side of things, because picking up your phone and watching is also an effort, and we thank you for that. Have a good one. My name is Olaidun. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. My regulatory number is R708702, and I'm the founder of Seventh Laurel Immigration Consulting. And if you're also looking to book travel, vacation, cruises to Canada or anywhere in the world, please flip me an email at ola.onyebor@4l.travel or send me a message in the comment section. I'll be sure to engage with you and we can take it to the next level. Have a good one. Stay well, and I wish you all the best. Have a great week ahead. Cheers.